Okay, all right. Hello everybody. Welcome back. All right, I'm gonna start breaking through and going through my back testing, talking about the levels of liquidity and looking for a shift in market structure above old highs and different levels of liquidity, and then also talking about entries and everything like that. Okay. So the very first thing, we're gonna hide all my drawings. Today, actually, let's first show this. We had this large imbalance here. Today it was filled and it did trade it up to the high of this, which I'll show on a lower time frame. Regardless, one of the things I said in my previous videos was that I was expecting this imbalance to be filled, and then from there I would like to see price then trade to these relative equal highs and take that liquidity there. Overall, we are in a like a bearish market, like overall, but currently in the range from this buy side to sell side that I have marked, okay, currently we are above equilibrium, this being optimal trade entry. Okay, now what do we have here? Okay, well actually let me just go back to that. Let me get that fit marked again. Okay, so if you look here, okay, we have these relative equal highs. Price then traded lower, and we're on the daily time frame. Price traded lower, but then if you look here, price displaces. Okay, we have this displacement. Okay, above into equilibrium, and now we have price trading into that. So what I'm gonna do here, this isn't necessarily a fair value gap, right? But I'm gonna mark it with this yellow rectangle, this large yellow rectangle, so that way I can get a better view on it on the lower time frames. But there's this buy side liquidity that was violated. So right now I'm neutral. Price, I don't necessarily know. Is price gonna continue to retrade down and into a discount? I mean, we're at optimal trade entry right now. We have these highs that we're taking out. So are we gonna see prices trade lower, or are we going to? Is this a shift in market structure? Will we see, price continue higher? We see price displace above a previous high. We had 6 days that we were bullish. All 6 of these days being bullish movement. So my prediction, and I'm gonna review this tomorrow. My prediction is we're gonna see, for now, price continue lower. That's gonna be my bias. Is that we are expecting lower prices, not in the long run, but for now we're gonna see price trade back to equilibrium. Now, I want to go into the lower time frame, so I want to see if there's any imbalance or if there's any inefficiencies in the market. So we're going to go down to the 1 hour, and I'm just going to look at this, okay? So this is what I marked on the daily, okay? And it doesn't, to be honest, it doesn't look like price has been delivered inefficiently at all, to be honest with you. Yeah, it really doesn't. Looks like price has been delivered very fairly. Now if I'm thinking, let me clear off everything, and actually I need to delete this. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna delete this box because now, yeah, I changed my mind. So we've seen now that price has continued to create lower highs or lower lows, or higher lows and higher highs. Okay, sorry, said that wrong. Today we had a lot of volatility, and right now the levels of liquidity that I'm going to be paying attention to here is this prior low being taken out. We had this low taken out right here. Okay, this was Monday's low. Okay, Monday, yeah, Monday the 16th. Okay, we had Tuesday's low taken out. So I'm going to see if it goes after Friday's low, and I'm going to see if it goes after this low. Okay. Now, ultimately, here, let me get this fib off. Okay. So ultimately, I'm looking for price to go to this level, sell side, for now. And I want to go back to the daily time frame actually. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna mark the fib, and then I'm gonna mark from this high here. Or sorry, not that. No, that's not what I want to do. I actually want to mark from this high, the last down close to current low. Okay. I'm gonna mark this level of equilibrium. This I'm gonna delete. I'm not worried about that anymore. Okay, create black. This is a line. Okay. Text. Do equilibrium on daily. Okay. All right. So this is the level that we have on this range from this buy side liquidity to this sell side liquidity that I've outlined, okay? So we're gonna go ahead now, drop to the 15-minute. Okay. So, sorry. Just delete this. So, if price trades below equilibrium, we're going to be in a discount, okay? Now, this low that I have here, that I'm outlining, I'm expecting this to be a target for price to continue to. There's sell side liquidity here. There's sell side liquidity below this low. There's sell side liquidity here as well, below this low as well, okay? And then after it trades below equilibrium, okay, I'm gonna expect lower prices. If it continues lower, and we continue seeing it trade below equilibrium, then I'm gonna expect it to go into a discount. Right now, and one of the things ICT highlight on the Twitter space is I'm neutral. Like I'm just speculating. Okay, I'm speculating, but I'm also spectating. I'm speculating that and trying to get the idea in my head that these are the key levels that I'm looking at. If I was in, trading right now, if I was doing demo, I would be expecting, based on what I currently know, I would be expecting price to trade to the sell side after this imbalance was rebalanced, after we've been in a deep premium, after we've seen 6 days of bullish movement on the 1 day. I know that there's liquidity above. Okay, I know that there's liquidity above these relative equal highs, but at the same time, I know that we'll see kind of what price does, right? We're gonna see if price is going to, reach below equilibrium. If it goes below equilibrium, then it could be just a potential shift in market structure. My thing is, if we go even to the 1 week, we look like where does it look like price is generally going overall? Okay, we look here. We can see that we have failed to violate these relative equal highs. Now, if it violates these highs, this is the weekly chart, you guys. If it violates these highs, okay, then we might expect price to even retrade higher. But for now, I'm going to focus on kind of what we're dealing with here, which it looks like, hold on, the next levels of liquidity, okay? Look, we have this equilibrium on the daily. The next levels of liquidity being those lows that I mentioned, okay? This could trade back lower, and we can see how price reacts. But the keyword there is could. I'm not confident. I'm just spectating, okay? Let's go into the 15-minute. Here we are. 15-minute. Okay? Remember, this bar is hard to see on the 15-minute. This is the bar that I marked as equilibrium. This bar marks these prior highs. This is the trade above. So this marks buy side liquidity right here, which that's what is shown right here. Buy side liquidity. Okay? Just move that over. So price takes buy side and then creates these highs. We had price now trading above these highs. Okay. So we'll see how price reacts when it goes to equilibrium. As of now, I'm neutral. We traded into buy side. We rebalance this imbalance. We got to pay attention to what price is going to do next. Overall, I expect price to go lower. I expect us to continue to see lower prices. Drop into the 5-minute. And now we'll look at what price is doing on the 5-minute. I'm also going to study. I marked these on my phone, this imbalance here. Okay. And we have these relative multiple times, okay? These relative equal lows with the sell side being taken here. After it was taken, rebalances the inefficiency, okay, and then continues lower. All right, I marked this mainly as a key level or a place that we could potentially be expecting price to go just because of the imbalance, the relative equal lows. There's also relative equal lows back here, okay? And we had this high created, okay? Price failed to trade past that high, okay? So here we have this low. I marked this right. I'll mark this right here. Okay, so we have this order block, changing the save delivery, and I just marked the bottom of the up close candle. Regardless, this low was violated right here. Price traded below, okay? It then had an efficiency, had a fair value gap. It traded into the fair value gap and continued lower. Now, what I need to measure is the high of the day to this low, which is obviously a lot easier in hindsight, but from the high to low, we can see that this is actually above optimal trade entry. Oh, sorry. I didn't mark the high properly. So we can see actually that it's right above optimal trade entry actually, but it is above equilibrium, okay? We have price trade into that imbalance, and then we see displacement lower. That's what I would have been paying attention to today. Now, in regards to an entry, I mean, ICT, he advised against it. My friend Toli, you know, he had some learning experiences on demo. I'm not going to air out his business, but I do want to read the text just so I have a recording of it, because I'm really just I'm grateful for this whole learning experience. And he was just saying that he has a problem of trading pre-market hours, and that 8:30 to 10:30 was sloppy. Now, he also mentioned not having a set risk percent where stop at for the day or session costed me. Now moving forward, he will have different risk parameters. Him saying 2 to 3%. So, what I mainly can see here from midnight, we have these relative equal highs that are traded against. So we have these levels of buy side liquidity that are violated, creates these relative equal highs. We see that violated, okay? And then overall, we just see price continue higher. I don't really, to be honest, yeah, I don't really know what I'm looking at through all this. I mean, this is the London session, but from open, just looking to the left, like what levels of liquidity were created here, we had these relative equal highs, but those were also violated here in the New York. And then we saw these false moves, like accumulation and manipulation. We see these false moves lower, and then price trades higher, creates these relative equal highs. After these relative equal highs, it trades above. But like, I probably would have been confused with this fair value gap here, to be honest. Like, it trades lower into this fair value gap before continuing higher. We had this low like violated right here, like these lows were violated, but this is just a lot of back and forth. These wicks are very wide, and one of the things he was saying, 8:30, I don't know what PPI or core retail sales or PPIMM or like I don't know what any of that means, to be honest. I have no idea. ICT didn't really elaborate on Twitter, but regardless, these relative equal highs were taken. Okay, we had displacement lower here. Okay, trading below this prior low, trades higher into this imbalance. Okay, and then price continues lower. I marked this the other day on my phone. This is again just a level of liquidity, right? I marked this as a key level, so we expect prices going lower. And then overall, I didn't really look at the PM session at all, but I just wanted to highlight on those things really. This video is getting long enough because now I'm just rambling or making the same points. But overall, what I'm expecting price to trade below equilibrium, and then I'm expecting to either see from equilibrium, I'm expecting price to then, if it goes below equilibrium, I'm expecting us to go into a discount. So I'll be expecting us to go below this level here that I have outlined, even maybe these prior lows, because we just took buy side, we've just traded into an imbalance. Overall on the weekly, we've seen lower prices. So now that we have a break in market structure outside of the range that we had prior to it, which is more refined on things like, you know, the 1 day when we look at that. But if price is fractal, look at this, okay? Look, we have these relative equal highs, boom, okay? With this buy side liquidity, it's violated, okay? Now, what I also, on the other end of that, okay, I could expect price to go to equilibrium, and then we'll pay attention to what it does on the 1 minute and so on going into that buy side, okay? When we look at them 1 minute, let's try to see these moves a little more refined, okay? So, initial open at 8:30, massive displacement on the 1 minute because of the news event, most likely, okay? We have this move lower, fair value gap created right here, where price was delivered inefficiently. It trades back into that, so it delivers it efficiently. We have these relative equal highs created. Price takes that buy side liquidity and continues higher, okay? So 9:30, the volatility takes us from this low to violate those relative equal highs, and then we see this really like back and forth choppy price movement, but even more like it kind of stays around the same area, like consolidates almost, right? We have this really choppy movement, and then it continues. Granted, this is all at the top of that fair value gap on the higher time frame, but then it continues to trade the imbalance and rebalance the imbalance from that higher time frame, okay? And then after that, we have this low here, okay? This low right here is violated. That sell side gets taken, okay? We have an imbalance created with that displacement lower, which price trades back into that imbalance before continuing lower to the Tuesday levels of liquidity that I outlined, okay? Here we have then the afternoon session, and then we have the PM session, okay? Now, I wasn't looking at PM at all. To be honest, I don't really look at PM just because I know I'll be working. I mean, I can definitely study PM if I would like to, but let's just go ahead and end it there, okay? My bias for the last time is I'm expecting price to trade into equilibrium or lower, and then see where it goes from there. I'm going to continue to spectate price, and that's all. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.